Braves go for win number 12 tonight in Chatham. Welcome to Veterans Field, and welcome to Before the Bravos, our Braves pregame show. Calvin Christopher joined, as always, by my good friend Nick Galley. We made the trip out east,
friends?
Nick. Yeah, we're friends.
All right, we just shook hands on air for those of you at home.
We're not enemies. I mean, friends is a loose term, as we're calling it, I guess. But we made the trip out east here to Chatham, and Nick, a beautiful venue for a baseball game here at Veterans Field tonight. 7 o'clock first pitch. It's past my bedtime. I would have liked, a 6 o'clock
Yeah,
start.
of course, naturally.
They'll have to go bed a little bit later tonight, but a beautiful field to watch a game here at Veterans Field. First time I've been here. I believe it's the first time you've been here as well.
It is.
And it's a great scene.
First time I've been here that I remember. I think I might have come here when I was a very, very young kid.
Young lad, as
a young little lad. A young Reeves Jackson, as they say.
Yes, as they say, yep.
But, yeah, no, when you think of Cape Cod baseball, I mean, this is kind of...
You think of Doran Park 1.
Yes.
And then Veterans Field is like, a couple of thoughts after.
I don't know. Veterans Field is up there, Calvin.
Well, it's Doran Park. Then you gotta take a break and think of the other fields.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it might be Veterans
Our
Field.
lovely Doran, of course. But, I mean, yeah, this is just a beautiful field, beautiful atmosphere. The fan seating is amazing right in front of us right here, so it should be a great atmosphere for a game.
It really should be, and it should be a great contest tonight. You look at Chatham's record, 5-9-3. No, they're not up to the best start. They, not up to one of their best starts in the past couple of years, but this Anglers team, a very passionate fan base, a winning culture. So every time you play the Anglers, it's kind of the same thing. Every time you play the Cotuit Cavaliers, every time you play the Chatham Anglers, you kind of throw the record book out the window. And the Braves played this team last week. It was a 3-3 tie. That was one of the games where the Braves had to come back in the ninth inning. A Braylon Wimmer pinch hit RBI single the ninth. The Braves salvaged the tie. So every time, like I said, every time you play the Chatham team, it's going to be tough. So right off the jump here, what do the Braves got to do tonight to get over that hump, if you will? Because a tie last time out, how do they get a win tonight?
Well, let me say this. When it comes to records, I think any team, you throw the record right out the door. I think this is how competitive, unless it's Hyannis, of course. But any team, I think, has a chance to win on any given night. Bourne has been incredible so far. You have to assume there's going to be some point in the season where they go a little bit of a downslope, but that hasn't come yet.
I hope it doesn't.
You hope it doesn't, but enjoy this while it lasts. But anyway, if Bourne wants to win tonight, I think one thing you have to do they didn't do last game against Chatham is strike early. I know that's kind of been the theme of the season. When Bourne strikes early, they're a great team. When they wait a little bit, that's when the ties come, or as we saw in the Cotuit game at home, their first loss of the season, they never struck at all. So when they get out, or like last night, they got out front very early. What was it, a 4-run second inning?
Yep, 4-run second inning.
And then 1 run in the third. So you have 5 runs through 33% of the game, and you're cooking already. So you want to start cooking nice and early. That's what they have to do here in Chatham tonight.
Well, you mentioned last night. Let's go back to last night. The Braves pick up a 10-3 victory over the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, formerly of the first-place Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. I think that loss and the Brewster Whitecaps win made it a tie atop the division. In the East Division, the Braves still with a very comfortable 4.5-game lead in the West Division. But the East, tight up top. The Braves beat Yarmouth Dennis last night 10-3. That is really the first time the Bravos offense exploded at home at Doran Park.
I'd say that was the best win all season because the pitching was still there too.
Yep.
They had allowed 2 runs through 8 innings. The last run of the night was just kind of a, YD squeaked that one across at the very end.
Yep.
But for our sake, I'm going to say that we gave up 2 runs last night. That's what I'm going to say.
There was a couple of bad bounces. Kane
Smith
making his first appearance for the Braves, coming over from Mississippi State, got his action for the first time last night. But the offense,
they needed that. They
absolutely needed that. And I think, personally, that the double off day was a big reason why.
Yeah.
Because you looked at the Braves' schedule, 8 games in 8 days. Yes, there was 1 rain out in the middle of that, but also in the middle of that stretch, there was a game that was delayed 2 hours. It was supposed to start at 6 at home against Brewster. Started at 8, and that game went the full 9 innings. And then there was the game before that against Harwich, where the game went 6.5 innings, a 2-hour and 10-minute rain delay, back on the field for 2 outs, then another 8-minute rain delay, right? So that was a game timeout that was 5 hours and 13 minutes.
Ridiculous. Not to mention the late night at Orleans.
The late night on the road in Orleans.
Everyone and their grandmother went to Wendy's after, of course. So
that was a tough stretch for the Braves.
Yes.
So I think the double off day gave this team an energy boost that they really needed, because the offense coming into last night had been struggling over the past couple of nights.
Oh, obviously. I mean, they were really just kind of they weren't getting guys in. I mean, they were getting guys on, they were getting the hits, but we weren't seeing the runs translate to it. It was a couple of nights of 9, 10 hits and 1 or 2 runs, which is just a weird line to have. But last night, a very complete offensive game, 10 runs on 15 hits. You had multiple guys with multiple hit performances, and it was just a great game to see. The entire lineup was contributing.
Dalton Rushing, the big contributor in that lineup. 4 for 5 night, had a double, had a pair of RBIs. And the pitching was once again stupid good, right? You look at the Braves pitching step. Tristan Vreeling, I said it last night, he, over his last 7 innings, is the #1 pitcher in the Cape Cod League. And a lot of times you can make an argument like, wait, no.
Yeah.
No, but you can't. You literally cannot make an argument.
You can't do better than Tristan Vreeling.
Because you cannot do better than Tristan Vreeling over his last 7 innings. His past 7 innings, he's faced 21 batters. 21 of them have gone back to the dugout after they went to the plate.
That is insane. I mean, so I guess someone could do better. He has 8 strikeouts in those 7 innings. Someone had 10 Ks
Fair
or
enough.
something.
Fair enough.
But listen, I know we haven't dug through the stats of guys' last 7 innings. I don't think there's anyone with more Ks than him that have sent 21 up to the plate and set 21 down.
And I talked about it with Coach Kevin Graver pregame on Catching Up with KG. You can check that out, the full video on YouTube or Twitter. But I said he is oozing with confidence.
Oh,
right
I
now.
talked to him last night, and I just said, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
What are you doing? And simply put, he just said, I go up there, I throw strikes. When hitters know they got strikes on them, it's kind of world-crushing.
And Tristan Vreeling, we talked about his 7 perfect innings.
Mm-hmm.
But people forget early in the season, he literally won a game for the Bourne Braves because he came in a tough situation. There was runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out, I believe, in the inning, or nobody out. No, nobody was out in the inning.
Mm-hmm.
And he struck out the side.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's been magnificent.
He gets better and better with each appearance.
The Gonzaga Bulldog making the trip out east. He's been incredible for the Bourne Braves. Part of a pitching staff that gave up 3 runs, 2 runs, 2 runs. Continues to have the best ERA in the Cape Cod League, and it's quite frankly not even close.
Oh, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see. This team's clicking right now. Pitching staff's been great. You really can't complain with how this team's playing.
So Hunter Olmwood has the responsibility of carrying the torch, keeping this Braves pitching staff going. At least I expect Olmwood to go for 3 or 4, and the left-hander Michael Sansone to go for 4-ish innings out of the bullpen, kind of a piggyback start tonight with Olmwood and Sansone. But what can Hunter Olmwood do to keep the Braves pitching staff hot?
I mean, it's getting hard to come up with things for these guys to do because
you can just stay the course, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess just don't change anything.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
Keep the line moving. Do what you've been doing. I think one thing that's been nice that Olmwood's had the chance to have is so far knowing that Sansone's going to come out of the bullpen. I think that Sansone gets helped by that too because he knows, all right, Hunter, he's going 3 innings, 4 innings, and I'm coming out in relief. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to, hopefully give another good 4 innings. So just to have that consistency and that, similar thing in a league like this where really guys are coming in and out of the lineup and bullpen every other night, I think it's nice to have some form of just normalcy.
Yeah.
So I think it's been really beneficial for the both of them.
Yeah, Hunter Olmwood, ERA in the mid-2s, right around 2.57, I believe, is the number. And then Michael Sansone has pitched 8 innings, giving up just 1 run, and it came on 1 swing. It was a home run last week in Falmouth, but he's been so good as well. That left-handed pitch with a filthy wipeout changeup.
Nasty.
One of the best changeups I've ever seen.
Like, literally, you need to get that thing to the laundromat and clean it. Just clean it for days. I'm talking 2 loads of laundry because that thing is nasty.
Yeah, he'll sprinkle in the slider as well, which makes him a triple threat on the mound. Michael Sansone, we'll probably see him right around the middle of innings tonight, probably 4th or 5 innings. You'll get a chance to watch the left-hander play and pitch tonight against the Chatham Anglers. Let's go through the Braves lineup tonight. We mentioned it, an explosion last night. 15 hits last night, a hit parade last night.
Yes.
It was a hit parade.
It's my headline right there.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
I read your article. I knew that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Did you?
I think I just came up with that on my own.
I don't know. You might have. the look of shock on your face when you said it. I
Maybe
said it was my headline. You look shocked.
Well, no, I looked shocked that you remember your headline.
Oh, yeah.
You write
I'm
so
sure that's
much.
what it is, Calvin.
All right, that's neither here nor there. It was a hit parade last night. That's something we can both agree on.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully the Braves can keep it going tonight, and they start off with Joe Lampe, the center fielder from Arizona State.
Couple of knocks last night. His last 2 games have been multi-hit performances. I believe he had 3 runs scored last night, too.
Yep.
It's going to be tough memorizing these stat lines from last night because so much happened. But Joe Lampe, he's found a nice little groove after his period where he cooled off a little bit. So looks like Joe Lampe is back in Joe Lampe form.
I know we talked about we're trying to break down this starting lineup, but I want to take a pause because there's a couple of other topics that I wanted to talk about with you on our pregame show before we got into the lineup. We can run through the lineup quicker later, closer to game time. I want to talk about the Braves. I have two topics, but I want to start with the Braves' aggression on the base pass last night. They were really uber aggressive. Joe Lampe stole a base in the first inning. Didn't end up scoring. He was stranded on third base. But the next inning, a hit and run with Christian Knapczyk, Peter Burns executed it.
That hit and run just worked perfectly.
Executed it to perfection. Colby Thomas swiped a bag. Max Anderson went first to third to stay out. And if we went first to third, and the next batter was a double play, but he was still able to score from third base. So the Braves' aggression on the base pass, maybe it was something they saw in the catcher for YD last night, that's a guy they want to run on. But they were great on the bases last night, and that's really, really something that I think spark-plugged this offense.
No doubt. I mean, I don't know if it was the plan the whole way. You bring up a good point. I think it was probably the plan because obviously we know this offense had been stymied, so they needed to get something going on the base paths. A lot of times you get something going on the base paths, it's easier to score, obviously, because you're getting guys in scoring position. But I think they said, listen, we're stealing with Lampe to begin this game if he gets on. He stole that throw down to second. I mean, it was not a good throw. So they probably said, all right, let's just keep being aggressive. Why not? And it really set the tone for the entire game. And I mean, it got the Braves a couple extra runs for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it really, really helped this offense. And Christian Knapczyk, we talked about the hit and run, right? But we talked pregame. I liked him down in the sixth spot. I think you were kind of on the fence about him hitting sixth. But to me, it worked so well last night. Him being in the sixth spot was able to keep the line moving, and I think that is another thing that really helped this Braves offense tick last night.
Again, I can't remember what do you have? He had a couple hits last night, didn't he?
I think
at least one.
I think he had one hit.
Because he had the double, right?
I think he had one hit, but I think it is a guy in the sixth spot you can hit and run with. I mean, no disrespect to Colton Bender, but you're not hitting and running with Colton Bender on first base.
He's a catcher too, you know, so it's not expected of a the only catcher I can think of doing a hit and run is like Blake Swihart. And
you're not going to be.
You don't have guys like that.
Yeah, so that's why Christian Knapczyk, another guy who's going to put the bat on the ball. He's going to put the bat on the ball. He's a threat on the base pass, and I think he's great down in the sixth spot. He loved that move with Knapczyk hitting sixth.
The reason Calvin just laughed there is because he's an ACL now.
I bumped.
Yeah, I mean, I like those guys' new looks. Gives your whole team a new look. And there's a chance for new things to happen, new things to point out, new things to realize. It really just changes the dynamic of the game. Not to mention your opponent is thrown off by it. You know, you got Christian Knapczyk coming up in the sixth hole. Your opponent goes, all right, how do we play this? What do we do? What's he thinking? So I think it's always good to mix up the lineup. Tonight we see a little bit of a more familiar lineup, one we've seen in the past. But last night, when you switch things up, it might have sparked this team to be another offensive powerhouse like they've started the season.
Yeah, I like Knapczyk tonight in the sixth spot. He's between Braylon Wimmer and Colton Bender, which I think is a perfect spot for him in the lineup. Let's go through this lineup. We already touched on Joe Lampe. He's batting first, hitting center field. Max Anderson, DH last night, third base tonight, remains in that two spot. I think he is an every night starter, and I think he's either batting second or batting third. Tonight, batting second.
This is all I'm going to say about Max Anderson. 5 of his 7 games in Bourne. 5 of his 7 games.
Yeah, he's been a stud. He's been red hot. Another guy who is scorching hot right now is Dalton Rushing. A 4-for-5 performance at the dish last night. He's back in the field today. He's not hitting. He's not playing defense. He is hitting.
He's hitting.
He's hitting third, playing at DH.
You need Dalton Rushing in the 3-hole every single night.
I love it.
Every night.
The left-handed bat, maybe sometimes I can see him moving down to the 4 or 5 spot.
Yeah.
But in the 3 spot, he's in the lineup back tonight after having the night off, I believe, last night.
He played.
No, he was in the lineup last night. The outfield roulette kind of threw me up with Kyler Fedko going to the MLB draft. So Caden Wallace, he is playing his second night in a row, and he is in right field batting fourth.
Nice piece of hitting last night. 2 RBIs on the base hit. So Caden Wallace, just keep doing what you're doing, man. He's
been great. Braylon Wimmer, he's starting to catch fire a little bit. Had the really hot start, kind of had a pause in the middle, but he's back to hitting at the form he was. He's in left field tonight. He's hitting fifth.
Well, we know he likes playing this team. I guess, you have the game-tying RBI base hit.
Well, it was a pinch hit RBI.
Yeah, exactly. So
He's batting 1,000 against the Chatham Anglers.
Carry that momentum into this one.
Let's see if he can do that. Christian Knapczyk, we already touched on him. He's in the 6th spot tonight playing at shortstop. Colton Bender, the catcher, both catching positions. You got to love the production you've been getting out of them. But Colton Bender at bat has been great for the Braves this season. He's back there tonight. He's hitting 7th and doing the catching duties.
He's just been fun to watch, and he made it official the other day that he was going to Rutgers. So we all knew he was transferring, but officially became one with the Rutgers program. So
One with the Rutgers.
One with the Rutgers program. So it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of maybe that lights a little spark under him, and he continues his hot streak.
Well, he officially signed his full-term deal with the Braves. So he'll be here all summer. He's officially a Rutgers Scarlet Knight, and he's officially playing catcher tonight, batting 7th. He hit 7th. Josh Moylan, who had that broken bat base hit, the game-winning base hit the other night against Falmouth, talked to him in the dugout. Here's what he told me. He said that he has been in 2 slumps like that in his life.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, to get out of the first one, he got an infield single, just like that. The next game, hit for the cycle. The next game, hit 2 home runs. So that's
some insider
That's
info
what
there.
Josh Moylan told me as I've been hanging out outside the dugout all year. So hopefully Josh Moylan, that broken bat infield single, gets him going, and maybe he starts to get hot for this Braves team.
He got the fresh cut tonight, too.
He did,
Josh Moylan now a buzz cut. Zach Agnos gave it to him.
He did.
He
okay,
did.
I saw Andrew Taylor also get a haircut.
I am mad at Andrew Taylor for doing that. I'm mad at Andrew Taylor for shaving. He had the best mustache on the team, without a doubt, and now it's gone.
Josh Moylan hitting 8th. Tanner Schobel hits 9th.
Just do what Nick Goodwin did last night. Get some production.
It's time for the national anthem. When we come back, we're going to have our picks to pop before Reeves and Daniel have the call here from Veterans Field. We'll pause just a second for the national anthem and be right back on Before the Bravos.
They've owned their own home in Chatham for Please welcome Ken Joy. Oh, forsake, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the raucous red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the brave?
Braves and Chatham Anglers just a couple of minutes away from game time here at Veterans Field. Welcome back to Before the Bravos. Calvin Cristoforo and Nick Yalley wrapping up our pregame show. So, Nick, quickly, give me your pick to pop for tonight.
I'm going to go Josh Moylan, man.
He gave it away. You had so much. You trust what I said.
Yeah, I trust him, too. I was talking to him before the game about his haircut. He said he's feeling good, so I'm going Josh Moylan.
Okay, that's a pretty good pick because, like I said, last time he broke out of a slump, hit for the cycle. So
we'll see.
If he hits for the cycle tonight, I'm going to say it's a pretty good evening.
Yeah.
I think you got a chance of winning. I'm going Max Anderson just because he rakes.
My pick from last night, huh?
Yep. Did we determine last night?
No, we didn't.